Like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of our lives.
I'll take you for a ride on a garbage truck.
Take three. Welcome everybody to Weiss Camera Action. I, of course, am your host, Aaron Weiss, alongside my wife, Erica J. Weiss.
Hello, hello.
And rounding out our trio, as always, my own brother, Alex Weiss.
Hey everybody, just want to give you a warning. I'll probably call this movie Alice in Wonderland at least one time.
That is so funny to me.
That's hilarious. Yeah, man, this movie, we'll get into it. Let me get through the rigmarole first. Of course, this is Weiss Camera Action, show where each and every month we three Weisses watch and review a bona fide classic movie. That's right, Weiss Camera Action has changed it up a bit. We have decided to move away from reviewing movie series, and we are each going to take turns picking a classic movie. Last month, we watched Citizen Kane. This month, we watched Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. It's specifically Dwarfs.
With an F.
With an F and an S.
I'm not hating.
No, I was just for the listeners who might be thinking, why isn't he saying dwarves? No, look at the title of the movie. It's Dwarfs. When we will watch said movie, share our brief thoughts on it. We'll recap it, analyze it, and critique it, and see if the movie's status as a classic is justified or not. Each episode after this one. Oh, oops. I didn't completely edit the script, so each episode we will end with the chooser of the next movie presenting and defending their pick. This month, like I said, was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, chosen by Alex.
Wow.
Alex, tell us again, because we kind of told us at the end of the last episode, but tell us again why you chose this movie, and then kind of give your brief, summarized thoughts on it.
Okay.
Erica and I will each give our brief thoughts.
I wanted to do decades of movies. I wanted to do an animated movie. I couldn't find animated movie in the 70s because I was thinking 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I can't find anything. I wanted a non-Disney, but then I thought, well, why don't I just pick something that's, proto-Disney, at the beginning. So I decided to pick 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s as my movies.
Love it.
So this is it was my first pick, but it's also the first chronologically of my picks. So spoilers, the next time my next pick will be in the 40s, from the 40s.
Cool.
But I have to remember what it is.
We can look at the list in the text thread. But yeah,
Okay.
So what are some of your brief thoughts on?
My thoughts are, and if some Disney heads might know what I'm talking about. I'm not a Disney head, but some people are. But Silly Symphonies, the movie, that was my takeaway from this.
All right, I guess we'll find out more. Yeah. We will find out more as the episode goes on. Erica, tell me some of your brief thoughts on this movie.
This movie to me is a comfort movie. I do not watch it often. In fact, I don't think I've seen it in probably 5 years before we watched it just now. And by just now, we actually watched it last week. Anyways, regardless. But every time I, put it on, it's like instantly I'm so cozy, and it's like a childhood classic for me. I think it's one that we had on VHS growing up, which we didn't have a ton of movies, but I do think we had Snow White. And I love it. I think it's so cute.
I'm pretty sure I saw it at re-release in the theaters.
Yo, that's cool.
You mean you weren't there back in 1937?
Not that old. Not even Dad's that old.
Your grandma is.
She is.
But they probably didn't take an infant to the movies in 1937.
But all that to say, I haven't seen this movie very many times.
Yeah, I'm kind of more in line with Alex. haven't seen it very many times. In fact, I really think I've only seen it twice. And I think both times were in adulthood. So I don't have a history with it, but I definitely appreciate it for what it is, and I found it enjoyable. So I'm excited to dive a little deeper in. We can kind of go through the plot, or maybe kind of lack thereof, but we can go through the flow of the movie. But we'll turn to Wikipedia, our good friend, and feel free, both of you, to interrupt me when things of interest come up or things that you want to talk about pertaining to the movie. Try not to interrupt with tangents. All right. Having lost both of her parents at a young age, Snow White is a princess living with her wicked and cold-hearted stepmother, the Queen. Fearing that Snow White's beauty will outshine her own, the Queen forces her to work as a scullery maid and ask her magic mirror daily, who is the fairest one of all.
Can I just interject?
Yeah.
It's about the movie. Did you guys catch that she calls him slave in the mirror the first time?
I think I did catch that.
No, I was so focused on the fact that she said magic mirror and not mirror.
Yeah,
So
the first time she talks to him, she says slave in the mirror.
How weird.
I was
that
like,
did not click with me.
whoa.
So Snow White is one of those movies that has quite a few like renditions. So like specifically live action. So actually one of them is called Mirror Mirror, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, no, you're correct.
Is that one of those like Mandela things where people think that she said mirror mirror?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it's like a commonly misquoted line, but
it's like Luke, I am your father. It's actually no, I am your father.
What does Farquaad say? Does he say mirror mirror or magic mirror?
I'm pretty sure he says mirror mirror. So okay.
I love how Aaron said no tangents.
It's about the movie, kind of.
No, you're right. Let me be nice.
Yeah.
So
I pulled out a quote from the movie, and we're talking about the mirror and how she addresses the mirror.
Okay.
Mirror Mirror is a 2012 movie starring Lily Collins and Julia Roberts, and co-starring Armie Hammer, and Nathan Lane is in there. That is a very eclectic cast.
The choice.
I kind of want to watch it. Anyways, back to the plot. For years, the mirror always answers that the Queen is, which pleases her. One day, Snow White meets and falls in love with a prince who overhears her singing. That same day, the magic mirror deems Snow White as the fairest. The Queen orders her huntsman to take Snow White into the forest, kill her, and bring back her heart in a jeweled box as proof.
I'm just cracking up. The plot summary on Wikipedia is saying that Snow White meets and falls in love with the prince who overhears her singing. Was that their first time meeting?
Yeah.
I had assumed they've known each other for a while, because she's like blushing and kicking her feet over some man who just like peered over her shoulder and goes, "One song." And I'm thinking, oh, they must know each other. They don't know each other.
I didn't catch that they were falling in love. I thought she was like embarrassed and wanted nothing to do with them. But
oh, that's funny. I instantly caught both that it was their first time meeting and that she was like bashful because she had a big crush.
Yeah, I mean, later I was like, oh, you fell in love with that guy that you've seen one time? Okay.
I mean, I think this is exactly where like the unbelievable Disney love stories come from.
I mean, this was their first one.
Yeah,
I don't know
exactly.
if we said that.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so yeah, we should iterate
their first animated movie.
It is the first feature-length animated Disney film. Before this, Walt Disney was famous for animated shorts that would run like before movies in theaters. So like Steamboat Willie is the first one that was ever produced. But yeah, like this is the first feature length, and this is like what one of the foundation, or this is the foundation of what made Disney.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this is like where the tropes come from or start to come from.
The Shrek of it all.
The Shrek of it all.
The onion of the Shrek.
So many layers. Also,
Huntsman. Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say, can we say how? I mean, obviously she's the evil queen. But I guess she's just known as the queen. That's a really dark plan. Have one of her men kill Snow White in the forest and bring back her heart. That's like
as proof.
As
yeah.
proof. That's real dark.
It's for children.
And it's for children. But I mean, I guess what's that book that like the Grimm Brothers tales, like a lot of the fairy tales come from. That's supposed to be like really dark too. So, I guess.
I mean, they don't show. I don't even think they show the heart.
No, they don't. They don't. But still, I mean, that's like a dark premise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the huntsman cannot bring himself to kill Snow White and warns her of the queen's intentions. At his urging, Snow White flees deep into the forest. Lost and frightened, Snow White is befriended by woodland animals who lead her to a hidden woodland cottage. Finding 7 small chairs in the cottage's dining room, Snow White assumes that the cottage is the untidy home of 7 orphaned children. With the animals' help, she proceeds to clean the place and cook a meal. Snow White soon learns that the cottage is home to 7 dwarfs named Doc, Grumpy, Happy, Sleepy, Bashful, Sneezy, and Dopey, who work in a nearby mine.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Folks, I have just come up with a podcast within a podcast called Rank Them Dwarfs.
Oh my goodness.
Where we are going to put the dwarfs. Well, I would put them on a tier list, but I think we should just rank them. Who's the best dwarf?
Grumpy. Grumpy's the only one with an arc, a story arc.
You know what? That's a good point. That's a really solid point.
Who is the best written one? Sure, it could be Grumpy, but Dopey is so cute.
We're officially going from giving the dwarfs rankings to giving them superlatives. So
Grumpy gets most improved.
Grumpy gets most improved / best arc. Dopey gets cutest.
Sneezy gets most relatable. I have allergies.
Doc gets most unfortunate with his
Crapple dumplings.
Crapple dumplings.
Crapple dumpkins.
Just his speech impediment manifests in such ways. Happiest, it's a tie between Happy and Dopey.
I love Bashful trying to sing his verse in the silly song or whatever that was. Him just getting so embarrassed and hiding his face in his beard, and him just going, "Oh gosh," so funny to me. So yeah, Bashful. I don't know what superlative that would be, but funniest verse in that one song.
The funniest verse in that one song goes to Bashful.
I think it might just be called Silly Song.
Yeah, that's what I have it written down as.
I think Sleepy probably has the least amount of screen time amongst the 7 dwarfs.
Well, his bit is the least funny.
Yeah, his bit is the least funny. So least funny goes to Sleepy.
It's like that meme from Dance Moms where it's like the pyramid. At the bottom of the pyramid, Sleepy. You didn't stick out to me.
Do we have any more? Dopey? Did we do Dopey?
Dopey was cutest.
That's right.
We've said Doc, Grumpy, Happy, Sleepy, Bashful, Sneezy. Yeah, we've said them all.
So,
but the happiest is tied between Happy and Dopey. Happy doesn't get his own superlative, and Dopey gets 1.5.
The part you're talking about in the plot, that's like, I mean, I enjoyed it up to this point, but this is really when I really started to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Of the dwarf sneaking around the house, trying to figure out what's happening. And they discover a woman is in their house, and Grumpy says, "You can't trust a woman and their wicked wiles." And someone says, "What's a wicked wile?" And he says, "I don't know, but I'm again him."
Oh, it's so good. I love when they're like making Dopey go up the stairs to investigate, and they're like, "We're right behind ya." Yes, right behind ya.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I love the dwarfs. They're the highlight of the movie. I think this should be called The Seven Dwarfs and Snow White. So returning home, they are alarmed to find their cottage clean and suspect that an intruder has invaded their home. Snow
Or a
White.
monster.
Does it say?
No, I'm just adding that in.
Or a monster. Snow White introduces herself and explains her predicament, and the dwarfs agree to let her stay for her protection. Snow White does the cooking and washing for the dwarfs while they mine for jewels during the day, and at night they all sing and play music and dance. Yeah, I love the music in this, especially I think the silly song is probably my favorite.
I actually made it not a tier list, but I did rank all the songs.
Oh,
so that's a little fun surprise for y'all later. I have that in
Whoa.
my back pocket.
Well, really, what is it? Is there only like one other song after the silly song?
There are 8 total songs.
Oh, and we've only talked about.
And I think that there is.
We didn't talk about the song at the well.
Oh, I guess we didn't.
There is one more song after the silly song, but there's a couple reprises. If you'll reprises, however you say it.
Reprises.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple of reps.
Yep.
Well, yeah. When we get through the plot, let's rank the songs before we go on to like critiquing and stuff. Back at the castle, the magic mirror reveals that Snow White is still living and with the dwarfs. Enraged that the huntsman gave her a pig's heart, the queen uses a potion to disguise herself as an old peddler and then creates a poisoned apple that will put whoever eats it into sleeping death. She learns the curse can be broken by love's first kiss, but is certain Snow White will be buried alive before this can happen.
Which is so morbid. She's so like morbid. Cackling, saying, "Buried alive."
Yeah, it's pretty messed up.
Such a freak for that lady.
Also, character design for the queen as the old hag is spot on.
Yeah, really good.
She looks real textbook evil.
She's the blueprint.
She really is. I mean, yeah, she's the blueprint of like.
I mean, my mental note was Proto Jafar. So.
Proto Jafar, huh?
Yeah, he disguises himself as an old peddler.
You're so right. Yeah, he does. Man, I need to rewatch Aladdin. It's been a while.
Aladdin is probably one of the most popular Disney movies that I'm the least familiar with. I just don't know it like that.
Maybe we'll do a bonus episode for Aladdin sometime this year. No guarantees, though.
In the 13th month.
In the 13th month. If only they would, not to get on that much of a tangent, but there is enough days in the year to where they could pretty evenly divide by 13. Anyways.
That is a tangent.
Back to it. Certain she'll be buried alive before this can happen. The queen goes to the cottage while the dwarfs are away at work. The animals see right through the disguise, but are unable to warn Snow White. Stupid animals, why can't you just talk? They rush off to find the dwarfs. The queen fools Snow White into biting into the apple, and she falls into a death-like slumber. The dwarfs return with the animals as the queen leaves the cottage and give chase, trapping her on a cliff. She tries to roll a boulder onto them, but lightning strikes the cliff before she can do so, causing her to fall to her death. In their cottage, the dwarfs find Snow White asleep from the poison. Unwilling to bury her, they instead place her in a glass coffin in the forest. Together with the animals, they keep watch over her. The following spring, gosh,
Oh yeah, time passes.
I didn't realize that much time passed. The following spring, the prince learns of Snow White's eternal sleep and visits the coffin. Saddened by her apparent death, he kisses her, breaking the spell and awakening her. The dwarfs and animals rejoice as the prince takes Snow White to his castle.
Yay!
Yay! Yeah,
She said someday my prince will come, and she was so right for that.
she was spot on. She's like a soothsayer or a clairvoyant, or
You read the script.
she read the script. So let's rank those songs according to Erica Jane Weiss.
All right. So just to kind of go through all the songs, we have I'm Wishing, track 1. Track 2, I believe, is One Song. Track 3, we have With a Smile and a Song. Track 4, we have Hi Ho. No, Whistle While You Work, excuse me. Whistle While You Work, and then Hi Ho. And then we have the Washing Up song. I couldn't really find a title for that was anything other than Washing Up song. And then we have the Silly song, and then we have Someday My Prince Will Come. So those are all 8 tracks that I have ranked here. Should I go from my favorite to my least favorite, or should I start from the bottom and work my way to my favorite?
I see the bottom.
All right, start from the bottom. My least favorite song was With a Smile and a Song. Who cares about that one? My number 7, I have I'm Wishing. I thought that the call and response using the well was cute, but didn't do much for me. You're at the bottom of the pyramid. You didn't stick out to me. My next track coming at number 6 is Whistle While You Work. I think this song is kind of classic, and Disney continued to use that kind of vibe of like a singing song while you're doing your thing, like in Enchanted.
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely a worth cleaning up song. My next one is the Washing Up song. I just think that one was funny. I liked how they were putting bows in Grumpy's beard. Made me giggle. My next track I have coming in at number 4 is One Song.
Was that the first one?
It's the Prince doing his one song.
So it's technically the second one.
Song. Yep. Coming in at track 3. So here's my top 3, y'all. We have the Silly song. I like when they're yodeling. I like Bashful. I like when Dopey gets up on Sneezy's shoulders and dances with Snow White. I just love that one. Now my top 2 are Hi Ho and Someday My Prince Will Come. I had a hard time deciding which will come at the very top of the list. Hi Ho is more iconic, but Someday My Prince Will Come is so like cutie, dreamy, romantic, fun. I was like, what will I choose? I put number 2, Hi Ho. Number 1, Someday My Prince Will Come.
Yeah, I think Hi Ho is easily the catchiest one. It was stuck in my head for quite a few days after.
Although everyone usually sings the reprise, not the first part.
Say that again.
I feel like I hear people say "It's Off to Work I Go," which is the reprise, and not
it's Home from work. Sure.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it's not. They're not wrong. It's just not the first part of the song.
No, you're right. I think that that little reprise part might be more of what people reference.
Mm-hmm.
But what I do also like about Hi Ho is that it's like a 2-parter, because it starts with the we dig, 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 and then it goes into Hi Ho.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And both of those parts of the song are really fun. So,
and I like the way that they hit their axes in time with the song too.
Yeah, totally.
That's very Silly Symphony, which I mentioned earlier.
For the people who might not know what Silly Symphony is, I don't know who doesn't know that. That'd be crazy if you didn't know that. But Alex, go ahead.
Well, my non-scholarly remembrance of them are they're just like the Disney shorts that Walt Disney produced in the 30s before Snow
um,
White, and they were full of song and full of people playing instruments and full of weird stuff happening, like skeletons coming out of the ground alive.
whoa.
Hauser.
And like I don't know, it's kind of more of a vibe than a anything,
Yeah.
but like just the way that all the like they not only broke into song, but they played instruments in the dwarf's house, and multiple things were done in sync with the music. That just reminded me of Silly Symphony. Like, and I watched one afterwards, and I thought, yep, this is Snow White is definitely a big screen version of this. It's the Three Little Pigs.
Well, I totally already knew what that was. So that was just for someone at home who didn't know what Silly Symphony was.
Did I
You're
describe it
welcome,
well?
dear listener. Aaron, you told him. Did he describe it well?
Yeah, no, you described it perfectly. And I'm the whole
Thanks.
time that you're talking, I'm wondering who ripped off who. Did Silly Symphony rip
They're
off?
both Disney.
Disney.
They're all
I'm-
Disney.
You didn't let
Oh,
me
Sorry.
finish my thought. Who ripped off who? Silly Symphony ripping off Looney Tunes or vice versa?
Oh, well, Merry Melodies and Looney Tunes were in the same production at the same time. They used a lot of the same characters, but eventually they merged all into Looney Tunes. But answer your question, I think Silly Symphony came first.
Wow. Okay, because I mean, you can hear like the similarities, like of name.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I mean, that's really interesting. And obviously, Disney has more of like the lasting cultural impact. But I mean, Looney Tunes, Merry Melodies, still very significant.
See, Silly Symphony 29 is when it started, and Merry Melodies started in 31.
whoa.
Wow.
Makes you think.
Makes you think. All right. So let's get on to our like deeper thoughts, our more analysis, our critique of the movie. Erica, let's start with you.
All right. Well, as I did last time, I took a couple of notes just to kind of keep myself on track. I like how the movie started even before the storybook came out with a special message from Walt Disney. I was like, how quaint that Walt is here with us. The storybook intro, I wrote down, it's giving Shrek, which is so funny that I'm thinking that, oh, this is just like how they did it in Shrek, because that's just how my brain is. And then I said it's also kind of giving Star Wars, like just something to read to give you a little bit of backstory before the movie really starts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair.
And so, anyways, that's just kind of what I noted about the beginning of the movie that stuck out to me. Man, okay, so getting into characters a little bit. So Grumpy is the skeptical dwarf who is like, this Snow White girl, she might be bad news. She might have
Wicked wiles
and tricks up her sleeve. But then meanwhile, it shows Snow White on her knees praying before bed. Oh, please, God, let Grumpy like me. And she's just baking him a pie and singing and la, 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 I love birds and I'm a little nature girl, whatever. Okay. And then it cuts to the witch. And the witch is like the one that Grumpy should actually have been worried about. She's got the evil potions and the schemes, and she thinks that the birds love her because she has her creepy vultures that start following her, but really the vultures are waiting on her downfall so they can eat her. Okay. Another thing I noticed was like the lightning thing. So she uses a lightning strike in her potion because she thinks that like she can use nature for her benefit. But really, it's Snow White who uses nature for her benefit because the animals all love her. And in the end, it's a lightning strike that zaps the cliff and makes her fall to her death, the queen. So anyways, I was just kind of taking note of like good versus evil, having nature on your side versus having nature used against you, thinking that you can manipulate nature for evil, but you can't. So those were things I noticed for like characterizations. Kind of just like a juxtaposition between goodness and faith in nature versus witchery and evil and trying to manipulate things that you can't manipulate. I like the witch as a villain. I thought she was scary. And that's pretty much all I got.
Excellent. Thank you. Alex?
Oh, yeah. What do you want? Want me to
Same thing.
He said, yeah, what you want?
an analysis?
Analysis, deeper thoughts.
Well, despite what you thought pre-recording, I did really like this movie. I do like it. I rated it highly, and for all you listeners out there, I'm rating and ranking all of the Weiss Camera action movies on Letterboxd. So,
Oh, rats. That was homework that I had, was to make my Letterboxd account work again, and I didn't do my homework. I'm so sorry, dear listeners. Let me get on that.
You got time.
I got time.
More analysis there on this and other movies. But yeah, my takeaway is that it's a total vibes movie where the plot is very thin and doesn't matter that much. But by vibes movie I mean you just enjoy the dwarves working, the dwarves singing. Snow White's, I'm not a big fan of her as a character. I found her nose very distracting because there was no outline. There's no outline on her nose.
Yes, I said the exact same thing while we were watching. And
discussion.
The same is true with the prince.
Yeah.
And
the prince and Snow White seem to be completely different drawing styles to like the dwarfs and stuff.
Right. It's like all of the storyboarding and thought went into the dwarfs, and maybe even the queen and like the hag version of the queen, but they're just like,
yeah,
and Snow White doesn't matter that much. Like I don't know.
Same with the huntsman.
Yeah.
Let me see if this if you agree with this, Aaron. To me they kind of resembled the what year was that? 77's Lord of the Rings, animated Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah, how they would like kind of, didn't they like draw over people?
They drew over real people.
Yeah.
Which they did in this, but they were like, what I read was talking about like dance references for the dwarves, but the dwarves looked great.
Yeah, the dwarves looked great.
Well, and now that you're mentioning the huntsman, this kind of blows my theory out of the water, but my thought on it was that Snow White and the prince were supposed to kind of be like idealistic images of like beauty, I guess. And so like having like dainty fine lines used for their drawings versus like the harsh outlines of the other characters, I kind of thought was maybe intentional to, kind of show off the like goofy, funny features of the dwarves or the witch, whatever, when she turns into a hag witch, versus the like kind of dainty look of Snow White and the prince. But the huntsman, I don't think was supposed to be cute and dainty, so that kind of does not work with my theory.
He was burly.
He was supposed to be.
He had kind of a flat nose. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
don't think they ever showed him profile. But yeah, it was. I vibed with it. I loved all the songs and most of the songs, and I don't know, it made me happy. I liked it.
Great. Yeah.
Big analysis.
I also enjoy the movie. Like I kind of said in my brief overview, I enjoy the movie. I definitely have a little bit of nitpicks like we were just talking about with some of the animation, but at the end of the day, this was 1937. Like it looks really good, not only for the time, but it's still, I would say, mostly holds up animation wise. There are, like you mentioned, the Lord of the Rings movies from the 70s. Like that's examples of animation that really don't hold up very well. And those movies are 40 years like newer than Snow White. I think it was an incredible like launching point for feature length animated films from Disney. I was looking it up, and I believe the next feature length one was Pinocchio.
Yeah, 3 years later.
Yeah, 3 years later, and then I forget what. I mean, uh, Fantasia is shortly after that. There's not much going on between Fantasia and Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, they did a lot. They did a lot of compilation movies in the 40s.
Right.
Might have been a war thing, but
I think that's probably what it was. Dumbo was somewhere in there. I think Dumbo was also the 50s. But yeah, like the feature length kind of dropped off for a few years. But I think of the original like 3 feature length movies, Snow White it might be my favorite. I mean, it definitely has more plot than Fantasia, but Fantasia is not supposed to have plot necessarily.
No.
And Pinocchio, the whole concept is just is weird to me. But yeah, I think knowing like what all comes from Snow White, like in terms of just all of the movies after it, and
oh shoot, not just Snow White. Like I think it also inspired Japan to start their animation.
Yeah, I mean
Oh.
the footprint is larger than just American animation. Like it inspired literally other countries to do animation. One of our or one of mine and Alex's specifically favorite like directors, Hayao Miyazaki, is called Japan's Disney. And I am positive that this movie had an influence on him. And like he made, some of my favorite movies of all time. Yeah, it's really good, and the blueprint, like its fingerprints, its blueprint can be seen in a lot of movies afterwards, including like Erica's referenced a few times Shrek. Shrek
I
is
think Snow White's even in Shrek.
Snow White's even in Shrek, but like Shrek is kind of like a spoof of fairy tales. So like obviously it takes some inspiration from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good, and I think has a very, very strong cultural impact and definitely deserves its classic status.
Yeah. Can I just say before we wrap up, I watched one behind the scenes thing about specifically the animation, and I don't remember what they called it, but they stacked like 6 or 7 different animation layers to get on top of each other, so they could like move things around in the foreground and the background and zoom in and out, so it made it look like the camera was moving. And I thought the camera movement looked really modern, more modern than you'd expect from a 89-year-old movie.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
There is a lot that I actually liked visually with this movie. I loved the scene where Snow White is like running through the woods, trying to find safety, and there's like she's getting scared by the logs, and she's getting scared by the leaves and the eyes and whatever.
Yeah, that's the scene I'm thinking of.
Yeah, I was going to say that what you were just saying reminded me of that scene in particular. Like, I thought that was really well done. I mean, goodness, this movie is so good that even the scene where all the dwarves are downstairs sleeping in random places while Snow White is up in their bed sleeping, it's so funny. I'm like, I don't even care to like look down at my phone for a second while the dwarves are just sleeping. I'm like, I want to see how all the dwarves are sleeping. I want to see all the funny like details included. Like what movie can you think of that has come out recently where a solid long stretch of 7 people just sleeping is like funny and fun to watch. Like that doesn't happen. Like it's so well done, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, kind of going back to the animation in style, this movie obviously, like we've been saying, is beautiful and like really groundbreaking and trailblazing and all those things. I wouldn't quite say that it's like the kind of animation that is like every specific frame of it I would like have as like my desktop background. Like it's not
Mm-hmm.
quite there yet. Like, and that's just because it's such an early movie, I think. I think that maybe like we're mentioning Miyazaki, like later when his movies kind of come to prominence with Castle Cagliostro, I think maybe more of that would be kind of like every frame of painting, or I would want to have as my computer background. But I mean, it takes time to get there with movies, and I'm happy to watch this. And it's probably 24 frames per second, in all of its glory. And yeah, it's good. It's so good, and it deserves its acclaim.
Let me ask y'all a question about the witch or the queen. Do y'all think that she was under the impression that after she got rid of Snow White, she would regain her original appearance? Or was she just so delusional and so like driven mad with jealousy that she didn't even care that she was going to be ugly forever? She just wanted Snow White gone.
I thought you were gonna ask, would she be the most beautiful woman, or fairest of them all?
Y'all see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
no, I see
I always
exactly.
assumed that it was a temporary thing, but I don't know.
I kind of think it's a cool premise
Mhm.
that she was so driven mad with jealousy that she didn't even care if she was ugly after that. She just wanted Snow White gone.
Yeah, I think that's very cool to think about because, you know, even if she had fully succeeded and killed Snow White, um, but if she was stuck, there's no way she would be the fairest of them all.
Right.
Like,
They'd be like, Dopey wins.
Proto Bambi wins.
Oh, yeah. And Thumper.
Proto Thumper, Proto Bambi. Oh wait, when was Bambi?
40s, early 40s, had to be.
Yeah, it had to have been because
Bambi is not a movie that parents these days are showing their kids. And honestly, that's the right call.
the wimpy deer. It's from Sandlot. I don't know.
Oh, thank you. I just was going to smile.
Well,
I'm trying to look up. Sorry, I have one more thought.
Okay.
I'm trying to look up a better definition of what I mean, but I'll try to explain it. This, nobody knows unless you look it up. Nobody knows who directed this movie. Like, it's not a secret. You can look it up, but it's not like, oh, hey, Georges Méliès directed it, who's a silent era director, or Orson Welles directed it, who's the director of a movie we watched last time.
Mhm.
But like, you look at it and you think, oh, that's a Walt Disney production. Like, you see the head of the company's fingerprints all over it. Which I was trying to look up a producer-driven movie versus a director-driven movie, and I would say this is producer-driven because Walt Disney produced it, but I can't quite flesh out it's
Yeah.
more like he puts his stamp on a whole lot of movies and not just the individual movies.
That's interesting because I kind of would have just assumed that Walt Disney directed the movie.
Me too.
Because of who he was and what his legacy is. Like, yeah, I just would have assumed not like I would have assumed that he directed it and produced it, and I wouldn't be shocked to find out that he didn't write it, but
And was one of the dwarves.
he was grumpy.
No, Wikipedia says David Hand, Pierce Perce Pierce, William Cottrell, Larry Morey, Wilfred Jackson, and Ben Sharpstein directed it.
Wow, lots of directors. Now
Yeah.
interesting. I thought you were naming the voices of the dwarfs for a second.
No, I don't. I don't know if for animated movies if directing was different back then because there's not
maybe so.
one credited. But yeah, like when after Walt Disney died in the 60s, there was a definite lull in the quality of movies and they just they lost the spark.
Yeah, I mean that and
Magical
that
spark.
lull, especially on the animated front, lasted quite a while.
Yeah, some might say until 1989, but some might not.
Yeah, I mean I love Oliver and Company.
I don't know a thing
I
about
like the Aristocats.
that. Oh, I like the Aristocats. What about
I love
Cinderella?
That's the 50s.
Oh.
Walt was alive.
Oh, word.
Black Cauldron still scares me.
I saw it once. But anyways, were you going to wrap up things?
Well, Alex, I don't know if you looked into this, but is there a impact on The Simpsons? Did The Simpsons say anything about Snow
thank
White?
you.
Yeah.
The Simpsons factor, I'm giving this a 6 because my research is only as far as my memory goes.
Mhm.
But there's a whole entire scene lifted from Snow White in the Simpsons movie. And until I watched Snow White, Marge getting ready in the cabin in Alaska.
Oh
She-
yeah.
That's a very good point.
I completely forgot about that.
And until I watched Snow White, I thought that was a Cinderella reference.
Well, there is a lot of similarities between Cinderella and Snow White, but yeah.
Cinderella. I was trying to combine similarity and Cinderella.
Cinderella.
But
Cinderella.
yeah, just the way the animals interact and with Marge and that whole scene reminds me of Snow White, which I'm sure that's what they were going for.
Too true.
Too true. Erica, how often do I reference the Simpsons movie? Probably at least weekly, right?
Recently. Yeah, often.
Yeah, and I just completely forgot. I love the Simpsons.
Yeah, that's just not. I mean, there's so many iconic parts of the Simpsons movie. We can't be referencing
Flap
every
for
single scene.
Alaska.
Well, unless anyone has something more to say about Snow White,
I don't.
I have the joy of picking March movie.
Birthday month.
My birthday month. If you want to give me a birthday present, you should like and subscribe.
Share with your friends.
And share with your friends. Anyways, so when I was considering which movies I wanted to, have as my picks for 2026, I definitely knew I wanted some older movies, and then I'm going to also do a couple newer movies later in the year. But for March, I want to, keep it with the older one. Actress I have always heard of, but I actually don't know too much about is Elizabeth Taylor. And I decided to choose an Elizabeth Taylor movie as one of my older ones. And I picked Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. I told my mom this, and she said, "You're not going to like it." So I'm a little nervous, and I hope that it's not bad. If it is bad, that will make an interesting podcast episode where we get to hate on a classic film. But if we do like it, that'll be fun too.
Multiple of us don't like it. Because I was the only one that gave pretty negative reviews of Citizen Kane.
Yeah.
And it wasn't as fun being the only negative one.
Well, not to spoil my own reviews on Letterboxd, but I gave the same rating to Citizen Kane and Snow White.
Whoa.
But you liked both.
Well, yeah, that's the point he's making, I think. Whereas you felt very differently about the two. I think.
Yeah, like I as far as ratings goes, I like them equally, but as far as ranking goes, you'll just have to see.
I guess we will.
We'll have to see.
That might be another bonus episode. the year-end rankings. Well, we are going to be back next month with Erica's pick, Who is Afraid of Big Bad Virginia Woolf.
And please, if you would like to watch that film before March comes along so you can follow along with us on our monthly movie club, please do so. And if you did not like the movie, I'm so sorry I picked it. I think it'll be good though. I hope.
Yeah, I know little to nothing about the movie. I would say this is the movie so far that I knew and know least about going in. But I'm excited about it because, it's gonna have some interesting conversations going along with it. We just a little bit of outro housekeeping. We recently posted a new episode of Weisscast. We've actually posted 2 episodes of Weisscast since our last Weisscammer action, so go check those out on those podcast feeds. But if you're like, oh, there's too many Weisscast podcasts, I don't know about subscribing to 3 different feeds. Well, if you go to YouTube, they're all in one place. So all the audio gets uploaded to YouTube. At the same time, it goes up on podcast feeds. So that is for your convenience. Maybe one day we will put up the video of the podcast on YouTube. But the way that our video is recorded at the moment, it is not the best to watch back because it will focus on who's ever speaking the most. It doesn't have like a side-by-side, unfortunately. So we might get our top people on figuring out how to get a better video recording. But it's not a super priority right now. The priority is just having fun recording the audio.
Yep.
So
Video to come someday.
Video to come someday. Anyways, Alex,
Oh, follow us all on Letterboxd and make Erica make a Letterboxd.
Yes.
Again.
Man, I already had one and I had reviewed one movie on it, and I thought that was going to be my funny thing about me. Although I have a Letterboxd but only reviewed The Parent Trap. I'll do more, or I'll have to just make a new account.
I wish there was a way to is there a way to do communities on Letterboxd, like
I don't know.
Weisscast recommends or whatever.
I'm AWeiss17 on Letterboxd, and I have my profile picture is a unknown man with a head of curly hair and some sunglasses.
I wanted to see what my name is really quick. It might just be The Weiss is Right. Sorry, this is bad. Yeah, it's just The Weiss is Right, like it is on.
This is bad.
Like it is on Instagram. It's THEWEISSISRITE.
Pretty much post every movie or review every movie I see, even if it's just a paragraph.
And I am not as good at that. So I will put movies sporadically, maybe not even necessarily as I watch them. But anyways, that's it for this week. Unless anyone else has.
I just have my final word that I will say right before you hit the red button.
Oh, I know what that is. Alex, do you have anything? Speak now, forever hold your peace.
Nope.
All right.
Toodles.